You're listening to The Whole Truth, a Resources Rising Stars podcast.
Hello and thanks for joining us. Welcome back to The Whole Truth podcast. I'm Paul Armstrong. This week's F1 race is not in Silverstone, it's not in Dubai, it's not in Monaco, it's not even in Melbourne. It is right in the heart of the eastern goldfields on the outskirts of Laverton, where a $30 million company by the name of Arika Resources has just hit some fantastic gold intersections. They put out some assays that are cracking. These are the first results from its new drilling campaign. What's amazing about this story is that they are surrounded by big companies, the likes of Genesis, Northern Star and other household names, yet this lump of land's barely been explored for the past 20 years. Most of the territory is covered by mining licences. Some of the results that they've got from previous drilling programs are outstanding. They're not going to focus on a resource drill out yet. Managing Director Justin Barton tells us that they're still trying to find their way through this, determine where the centre of gravity is, and create value for shareholders by working out just what they have. They have one drill rig on the go now. They might introduce another one. They've raised money. They're armed and dangerous. These results are very good. It's very early days, but if these guys are still around to talk to us about what they're doing in 12 months' time, I'll be very surprised. Have a listen to what Justin's got to say. Have a look at the results in the latest announcement they've just put to the ASX and see if you think this is an up-and-coming story. Justin, you're off and racing at F1.
We are indeed. It's an exciting time for the company. We're in a fantastic area, and we just started a 10,000 metre drilling program. But we'll keep this going for the next 6 to 12 months. So it's really exciting times.
So these results you've just put out recently, they are absolutely cracking numbers. There's no doubt about it. You point out that they're the first results of a new drilling program. Tell us about the results and then what they mean in the scheme of things.
Yeah, so this is a really substantial program and really important phase of the company's progress. We started this program on the back of our last drilling program where we completed 3 diamond holes. They were the deepest holes we drilled at Yundamindra at probably our 2 most known prospects being our Land at Last and Pennyweight Point prospects at Yundamindra. They were the deepest holes, but we hit cracking intersections. At Pennyweight Point, we hit 35 odd metres at 2.5 grams a tonne. And at Land at Last, we hit 14 metres at 3 grams a tonne. And they're the last holes we did. So that really got the market excited with what we're doing. We then did a significant capital raise, significantly oversubscribed, and we took additional overs on that and got $5 million to really have a real crack at this project. And so we're following up those outstanding results. But these are only 2 small little prospects on this whole Yundamindra tenure. And what we're actually seeing is that there appears to be significant mineralisation of this whole prospect. And we're really trying to chase the centre of gravity and find out, where is the real source of this. And so we're really starting to step out, and that's what part of this program is. But we've started off at Land at Last and stepped out there. And like I say, we've hit some really fantastic results. 4 metres at 40 grams a tonne is a pretty exciting start. And they're the very first results we've got from this program.
Right. Now, you threw a lot of names at us there, and as you seem to have a little bit of a Russian doll syndrome going. Watchers and listeners to this podcast, Justin, would think, how does all this fit together? So let's just go through the food chain of names, if you like. Yep. So you've got the Underminer project, which is just outside Laverton, sort of almost between Laverton and Leonora in some respects. So you're right in the heart of juicy territory. It's probably worth pointing out at this stage that is very close to Genesis Minerals, which have obviously operations at Laverton and at Leonora.
Yep.
So that's got to be a flag.
Well, it is, and that's what attracted us to this when we first farmed into these projects was the location. It's world class, proven historical gold production, and there's multiple million ounce mines around the area, and we're hunting elephants, and we think we might have the next elephant in the area. And so the Yundamindra project is perfectly strategically located. Like I said, we've got Genesis around us. We've got Anglo Ashanti, Northern Star. So we're in the right area, and we're sitting on some tenure that essentially hasn't been touched in 20 plus years. Had no drilling, and significantly underexplored or unexplored in large part. So that's where the really exciting opportunity is. So Yundamindra is the main prospect, and at the moment, and we've also got a Kucani prospect down to the south. But Yundamindra itself has got significant historical production. So there's a lot of historical recorded prospects on this.
So you've got old workings dotted around.
Yeah, there's old workings, and when you sort of people have the opportunity to go out there, it's really eye opening opportunity. It's you just on the western side, for example, of the tenure. Our tenure is sort of shaped a bit like a V, and on the western side, we've got we call it the Yellow Brick Road, but it's effectively 10 kilometres of historical prospects, and they all sit on. It's really structurally complex area, and they're actually all sitting on different parallel structures, and so it's a really exciting area. And then on the eastern side, there's a number of significant prospects as well, albeit they're a bit more spaced out because it appears that significant amounts are undercover and just haven't been explored.
Right, so today's focus is largely on the Yellow Brick Road trend, as you put it. As you say, 16-kilometre trend all up.
Yeah, it's a 16-kilometre
a lot of workings dotted along it.
Yeah, there's 16. It's effectively a 16-kilometre corridor that we've got there. 10 kilometres of that has got historical workings on it, and effectively the other 6 just hasn't been tested.
Right. So along this Yellow Brick Road, you've followed the Yellow Brick Road. You've come to what you call the F1 prospect, the beautifully named F1 prospect, and these were those results you just mentioned. Some of those cracking hits just came from. Now you've got very high grade results at a few of those. Penny weight over on the other side of the V structure. The question, I suppose, is where are you trying to get to here? You've got a range of high-grade results in different areas. Is the name of the game to try to get a resource on these, or are you still just trying to fill your way as to where the best spot might be? Yeah,
look, we're not going to undertake any resource drilling at this point in time. These 2 prospects represent less than 1% of the tenure or structural.
So it's very early days, despite the fact that some of the results are so good.
Yeah, very early days, and we're still chasing the centre of gravity at this project. And there's so many opportunities. We've done a lot of the sort of the background unsexy work, I suppose, that the market probably doesn't see as exciting. But we're doing all the drone mag, the soils, trying to prioritise where are the best prospects, and we've got over 50 high priority targets already, and they just keep growing. And so what we're really trying to do is, yes, we're stepping out Pennyweight Point land at last, but we want to go and test some of these other prospects which haven't been explored before, but are showing significant signs that there could be significant gold bearing ore there.
So this program is 10,000 metres, so it's a chunky program. Have you now left F1? Has the rig moved somewhere else?
Yes, no, we have. So we started at the F1. We then moved about 800 metres south to another historical prospect called Bonaparte. We put a number of holes in there, and now we've actually moved down to what we're calling the nose of the Yundamindra syncline.
So you're waiting for the assays from Bonaparte?
We're waiting for the assays from Bonaparte, yep. And so the drill rig now is actually down in what we're calling the nose of the Yundamindra syncline. It's the sort of southern, really structurally complex zone of our tenure that's it's got everyone really excited. Hasn't been explored at all, but there's significant signs of historical dry blowing and alluvial workings. We've gone through and done rock chips over that. It's come back anomalous for gold. So now we're actually putting a traverse of drill holes across that area at the moment.
Right. So it really is, you're still really trying to fill your way, despite having these great results. So I suppose the question becomes that you've almost got an embarrassment of riches, haven't you? Too many opportunities. I mean, you've got a market cap of $30-odd million. Yes, you raised $5 million, but you could probably do with 5 times that amount to really do justice to this.
Oh, absolutely. And look, we get asked that question a lot of the time. We've got so many opportunities here. Where do we put our dollars and where's our money best spent? So that's why we're doing all this background work to work out, well, what are our highest priority targets? We're putting a number of holes in each of these, to show the scale of this thing, but also to work out, well, where is the centre of gravity and where do we think the best opportunity is to find the biggest resource. To really
close in on and then start some resource drilling.
And then we'll start resource drilling.
Yeah. You sort of have to wonder, with the likes of Genesis and all Northern Star and those around you, any signs that they've got a watching brief on this?
Oh, look, we've been made aware that there's a number of people watching us, and I think the fact that we're on mining leases
is all mining leases, is it?
Well, all the significant prospects are on mining leases. Particularly at Yundamindra, there's only a small amount.
That's a huge bonus.
It's a huge bonus. And look, we're getting just the grades we're getting. It's shallow, high grade, close to surface. So we've got a number of eyes on it. We know we've got a number of eyes on us, but we know, or we think there's significant upside to be unlocked on these projects. And, there's probably already significant ounces already in the ground that's been drilled. But like I say, we're chasing the next multi-million ounce discovery.
And the real growth. And the real growth here, obviously, in the short term, it comes from some more of these spectacular results, and before you get into a relatively boring resource drill out.
That's right. No, and look,
we don't want to bore the punters into submission here.
No, absolutely not. So we've got so much more. These high priority targets just haven't been drilled, haven't been tested yet, are showing really encouraging signs that they're significant gold bearing opportunities there. So that's the idea of this program, and it will continue for the next 6 to 12 months, just drilling out and trying to identify where the centre of gravity is.
So really, what you're talking just an ongoing, a rolling drilling program here.
Yeah, that's the plan. Certainly for the next 6 to 12 months, just an ongoing drilling program at Yundamindra, and just continually to drill out, test all these new high priority targets. Hopefully we continue to get spectacular results. Obviously these first round of results are pretty exciting, pretty encouraging, and we'll just continue to build on what we're doing. We're working in a really systematic, methodical approach to it, and not getting ahead of ourselves, not trying to get too excited. It's hard sometimes, but we're just working through it methodically, and just really starting to show the scale of this thing.
Are you open to some sort of strategic deal, with one of the big boys?
Oh, look, we get approached all the time, and I think people are really starting to see the opportunity in front of us. But we're really confident in that we want to advance this project ourselves. In conjunction with our Kucani project.
You'd have to think you've got a lot more low-hanging fruit to be had. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And we're only scratching the surface of the stuff we're doing. And like I say, this is only going to be our third drilling program on this project, and it's only the third drilling program in over 20 years. So the opportunity, is certainly there to be unlocked, and we really want to, reward our shareholders by unlocking this in the next 6 to 12 months.
Now, just to introduce another name for our listeners here, Justin, we'll move to the Kucani project of yours. Now, that's also in the region. Kucani is a very historic mining area, isn't it? It goes back, there was Kucani gold listed on the ASX for many years. How far is that from Yundamindra?
Yeah, so that's only about 60-odd k's to the southwest.
So you're in the same parish for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, and once again, Genesis surround us. They actually join us on large parts of our tenure. So, Genesis are right there as well, and Saturn as well, so are sort of right beside us. But it's a very similar situation to our Yundamindra prospect. It's significant historical gold endowment, and hasn't been explored, had no modern exploration, and large parts of it have been unexplored. And what's generally happened in these areas, particularly at Kucani, and we've seen it at Yundamindra as well, is when people have come in and gone back, they've generally gone back to where the old timers had looked and found gold, and that's a great starting point. But no one's really tested anything that's undercover, and that's where we think there's really a really significant upside. So
what have you got there, and what's the priority?
Yeah, so at Kucani, we've got about 110 square kilometres of tenure. In that, there's the old Cosmopolitan gold mine, which was the most profitable gold mine in Australia at one point, and produced around 330,000 ounces at around 15 grams a tonne. There's the Altona gold mine, which produced around 45,000 ounces, around 19 grams a tonne. Now, this was all closed around 1920, early 1900s, and it's been no significant exploration done since. So there's significant upside there. We're hoping there's a Bellevue type situation sitting under Cosmopolitan, but there's just been no work done on that. So that's one of our priority target areas is that. But then we've got a number of other prospects there, McTavish, Leopold and Champion, which we've actually got small resource on already, but they're open in all directions, and there's significant opportunity and upside still in all those.
So what's the drilling plan there?
So our first one, we've actually just completed soils on 3 of the prospects, which certainly haven't been tested at all, called Ithaca, Wandon and Mulga Plum. Now, Ithaca sits directly along strike from Genesis Orient Well, so it's only sort of less than a K from their Orient Well prospect and part of their Ulysses project. So that's come up with a number of high priority targets. We'll be looking to move the drill rig down there very shortly to start drilling out those priority targets.
Gee, you've got more than enough to keep you busy, haven't you?
Yeah, look, we have got an embarrassment of riches.
Are they MLs at Kucani?
They are. Most of them are. We do have a couple of E's there, but once again, Cosmopolitan, Champion, Leopold all sit on M's, which is a real significant advantage.
Gee, it's a really live story, isn't it?
It is, and look, it's a really exciting time for the company. It's we've got a substantial drilling program, we've got money in the bank to drill, and we're just slowly working through all these high priority targets. So, really exciting time for the company and shareholders to come on the journey with us, and we're looking forward to the results continuing to hopefully deliver fantastic results.
Yeah, look, absolutely fantastic story. You don't get too many stories where there's such a visibility over the drilling program to run right up to Christmas and beyond, non-stop. You don't have seasonal issues, short of a cyclone washing through, which isn't that uncommon. But by and large, you should have a pretty clear run at it for right through the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're like I say, at the moment we're drilling at Yundamindra, but we want to get a drill rig, and we will contemplate getting a second drill rig at some point to obviously have hopefully one going at Kucani and one going at Yundamindra. We want to advance both these projects at the same time. We think they're equally as exciting and prospective, and we want to sort of bring them along at the same time, and that's sort of our plan.
Yeah, great. A great local story. Well, Justin, thanks very much for joining us. It's one that we will definitely have you back in the studio for. I think you're probably, judging by what you just told us, you've probably got assays coming every few weeks.
Well, that's the plan. Look, we're putting in our samples weekly to hopefully get results weekly and just keep this news flow going, and hopefully the shareholders can enjoy that ride with us.
Whether we're here or more to the point, whether you're still around with an Arika hat to talk about this in 12 months' time, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you've been gobbled up by one of the various Pac-Man around you. But either way, great outlook for shareholders. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for the opportunity.
You've been listening to The Whole Truth, a Resources Rising Stars podcast, produced by Resource Media, hosted by Paul Armstrong for Reed Corporate. Please note that Reed Corporate does not provide investment advice, and investors should seek personalised advice before making any investment decisions.